All right, you lovely people. Happy Thursday. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Um, Hope y'all are off and having a great Thursday. We our word today, we'll see where I go with it. Because it is a word that sticks with me. You know, when you grow up a knucklehead and in trouble and always finding ways to get into stuff, you better have this in your life. And the word's perseverance. You're not always going to make the right choices. You better be able to just stick it out and be able to grind. So perseverance is the quality that allows someone to continue trying to do something, even though it's difficult. Josh Shipp actually once said, he said, perseverance is stubbornness with a purpose. It's stubbornness, and how many of you, you don't have to raise your hand, but how many of you deep down are one of those people that, you know, you you're one of those, whether it's your health goals, it's relationships, it's your work, it's just you're one of those that you're in and then you're out and then you got to get back in and then you fall off the wagon. And we talk about that a lot, but do you have perseverance to keep going, to keep fighting, to keep going? I would probably think that everybody on here, just the fact that you get up and you actually do something like the Coach's Corner, you're a person of perseverance. So congratulations. But I love the quote where it says perseverance is stubbornness with a purpose. Thank goodness I'm stubborn. And I'm willing to keep fighting. So what I love about perseverance is you might not be the smartest, you might not be the fastest, you might not be the best looking. So I got to tell you just a quick story. So I was a junior in high school and I played defensive end. And so I won an award at the end of the year at the athletic, banquet, and the Defensive Player of the Year award. And I heard rumblings in the coaches like getting around. So I thought, have you ever thought you were going to win something? I mean, I felt it going into it. So man, I put on my best dress and a tie, like I had it going on because I knew I was going to be the one that accepted this Defensive of the Year award. When the coach gets up, I did get the award, but here's how he announced me. This guy is not the fastest. He's not the biggest. He is a guy that we had to really work with on learning the plays. By the time it was over, I didn't know if I wanted the award or not by the way he was recognizing me, but I got it. So here's the thing. How was I able to be a decent football player? It was because of perseverance. I would just go longer than most people. I would just fight harder than most people. If I couldn't beat you, I might pull your toe underneath the pile, like whatever it took, right? Perseverance is sticking with things. It means being hardworking and finishing what you started, despite the barriers, despite the tripwires, despite the obstacles. You're finding a way. You're the type person that's finding a way over it, under it, to the side of it. Maybe you got to blow it up, whatever, to get through it. You do what it takes. And you just got this never quit attitude. I talk about this all the time, but one of the things we perfected is I quit. I take my ball and I'm going to go to another court and play somewhere else. And I'm going to leave you with this. If you've got that no quit attitude, you just figure out a way that you're going to finish the race. And all I know is to reflect on me because, guys, I take shots at myself all the time. So I'm not a perfect person. And I strive every day to be a little bit better, and I fall off the wagon in a lot of ways. But several years ago, I set out, and this is one direction I'm going to go, and I'll turn it to Andrea. But I set out to have financial security. You know, I didn't grow up with a bunch of money. I didn't grow up with that. I got into education. I became a teacher. I became an educator, and educators are service-driven people. They know they're not going to make tons of money, but they love what they do. And that's kind of was my profession. But I always laid my head down at night, and financial security is something I didn't have. It was like, gosh, this wheel of diversification, I don't have. Like when I look in the bank account, I know I don't have the cash. When I look at stocks, I know I don't have stocks. I know I don't have this. I know I don't have that. And I want it. I wanted to be able to lay down my head at night and have financial security and just be able to breathe a little bit easier. And so I started on that track. And one thing about perseverance I thought about this morning is not all the roads I was headed down was the exact road that I stayed on to achieve and work towards financial security. Okay. But I kept the perseverance. Does that make sense? Like sometimes people will head down the road and go, this has got to be the road. It's got to be. Well, if you're headed down the wrong highway, you gotta have the sense to realize I might be going the wrong direction and I got to turn and go down a different road. But that road is, I'm keeping the work, I'm keeping the perseverance to head down the road of financial security. So whether that's a health goal, you know, there's times in my life where I've headed down the wrong road of I'm going to count my fat content in my food. And then I'm like, okay, that's not cutting it. Maybe I need to go carbs, you know? So both roads are headed down the road of trying to achieve better health in my life or losing some weight. But I've just got to find the road that works for me. But I've got to keep the perseverance to keep finding it, to keep looking for ways to go over it, under it, to the side, blow it up, whatever it takes to get to where I want to get at the end of the day, to get to the top of the mountain. And it's the journey, I think, looking back, that I go, man, I appreciate the journeys, even though they're hard, they're tough lessons. But I'm so glad that my dad and other mentors in my life has taught me to persevere and keep fighting. So, Andrea, that's where I went with the word this morning. That's what was in my mind. So I'll turn it to you.
Well, I love that, Coach. So thank you so much for that. And my favorite part is perseverance is stubbornness with a purpose. Can be a tad bit stubborn. So we're going to pretend that that's on purpose and that it's a good thing. So one of the things I love about perseverance is this is a trait we can cultivate. Like I cannot, change the color of my eyes officially. I guess I could get contacts. I can't do, there's so many things that we cannot change about ourselves, but this is something that if our goal is to become more perseverant, that we can absolutely, and I don't even know if that's a word, but we can absolutely do it. So how? So the first thing is don't be afraid to fail, or as I like to say, feel the fear, do it anyway. And perseverance comes from failing and then absolutely getting back up. So change our relationship with failure to see it as a lesson rather than a setback and brush it off, keep going. Next, focus on a growth mindset. So as you're trying to improve yourself, just focus on getting 1% better every single day. So kind of like what Coach was saying, if you're trying to go low carb, well, cut out 1% or whatever it may be. If you're trying to work on your self-development, well, shoot, read one page from a book every night before you go to bed. You're not going to get there tomorrow, but maybe that will inspire you to read 2 pages or a chapter, whatever it may be. Meditate a little longer, pray a little bit more often, make one more call. But just that tiny bit of improvement over time will absolutely lead to great things. So ask yourself, and I love this, ask yourself this question. If I do this one thing, or conversely, if I skip this one thing, every day for an entire month. What in my life will change? Right? So I love that. What in my life will change? So 3, understand your challenges. So take time to identify what is holding you back. So maybe it's that your freezer has nothing but ice cream, right? So maybe you need to donate that ice cream to the neighborhood kids. But typically, you have to look at the person that bought the ice cream, which in my house is me, right? Typically, the thing that's going to hold you back the most is the thing, that beautiful thing that is looking right back at you in the mirror. So figure out what you need to change inside yourself, what you can do to set yourself up for more success if you are challenging yourself. Number 4, get in the habit of exercise. And it's like, what does that have to do with perseverance and work? Well, it's a muscle, right? So all of that, all of our characteristics, our behaviors are built upon themselves. So if you can get consistent in something else, so maybe your goal is to walk a mile every day, and you tie that together. So you just get, you're going to walk a mile, walk a mile, walk a mile. That's going to make it a little bit easier for you actually to pick up that phone every day, because you'll have faith in yourself that you know that you can be consistent, you can be persistent, and you can persevere in something else. So you'll know that you can do it in other areas. And then 5, build a network of support. I think of our Level Up community, how we're all trying to get a little bit healthier. Perhaps we're on that Renew challenge. We're trying to put good things in and move our body and all of that. And having that support network of people that are saying, me too, me too, me too, and encouraging us is so powerful. Keep your goals in mind. So if you want to persevere, put those goals in writing all over the place. So I've set some new health goals today. Just got back from, I don't even know how long I was gone, out in California. And I realized that that wasn't the best thing for my health. Had a great time in my heart, but my body's a little bit, needing some work. So I'm putting my goals on my refrigerator. I'm putting my goals upstairs on my bathroom mirror. And so I can keep them in mind. I can see them constantly. So I have that encouragement. And then set clear benchmarks. So if you know what your goals are, maybe it's long-term, right? So maybe you're like Brent and you want, X amount of dollars diversified all over the place. Well, you're not going to be able to do that just today. You might have to save, $10 a month and put it in crypto, and then $10 to put in stock market, and $10, whatever. And that's not going to instantly get you to those millions. So have benchmarks in order to encourage yourself along the way. And lastly, remember your why. So ask yourself, why in the world am I doing this, right? Why am I on this path? And if you can think of that original reason and reflect on it, from time to time, that's going to help remind you that the struggle is absolutely worth it. So thank you for this word today, Coach. This was a good one.
Hey, great word today, guys. And Andrea, great message. So it's Thursday, and I'm excited about finishing the week up with you guys. We're going to give away something tomorrow on this call. But more so than anything, and we were talking about this yesterday, we just appreciate your willingness to get on here with us every morning. It's a commitment. I think Andrea said, what was it, Andrea?
April 6th.
April 6th, 2020?
2020, yeah.
April 6th, 2020. Think about how many episodes, 5 days a week. It's awesome what it's turned into, this community. And then what Facebook and the reviews and the people that go back and watch it. Will, thank you for the word that you ask us to look into next week. We're going to do that. But we just love you and we appreciate you and we thank you for tuning in. So have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach. You guys have a great day.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you. So appreciate you guys.